Hey all, my name is Luke. I make bags from high performance materials that would otherwise be discarded. Today we're back in the True Sewing Shop and I wanted to show y'all how I do repairs. So on this particular backpack, it's been in use for about 12 years, I think. Has a lot of good wear and tear on it, obviously, and just needs a couple pieces replaced. So some major pieces like the back panel, probably the lid zipper, and yeah, I'll just show you how I go about doing that. So let's take a look at what we're working with here. So I already started pulling this thing apart before I had the idea from someone on Instagram to make a video of it. So I already pulled the lid off. I found some weird / interesting / cool, almost looks like a poem or something, like inside the back panel where this foam sits. So that's fun. It's always fun to discover things like that inside a pack. So yeah, I think this is probably about 12 years old. And I've never seen this particular thing happen before, but the actual cinch or the extension, whatever you want to call it, is actually abrading through from this cord. So we'll definitely need to replace that, the entire cinch. And on the back panel, I've already taken the foam out so you can kind of see it's not holding its shape, but the lumbar pad is completely abraded through. The stretch webbing is usually one of the first things to wear out on any bag. If you have experience with that, that's probably familiar looking to you, but yeah, this stretch webbing is just absolutely toast. So we're just going to do an entire back panel replacement because I've changed the way that these straps go on, and actually this is the older pattern of the drop liner, so the side panels don't have as much width to them. I added that, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago now to make it easier to get in and out of the bag, and also when you carry stuff, it's more comfortable to have that weight up by your shoulders anyway. So yeah, this is what it looks like right now. Let's get it taken apart and put back together with some new parts. Alright, so I've got it mostly taken apart now. I got the extension or the cinch here, got the back panel and the interior seam sealed liner, and the seam tape has been holding up nicely. And the last thing to take apart is the lid here, because I used to use these little neoprene zipper garages and they blow out after, I don't know, however long this pack has been being used. It's just kind of, I can tell they're getting thin, and I can see that becoming a future problem area, so we'll fix that up while we have everything taken apart here. So because this is an older pack and I've changed the pattern since I made this 12-13 years ago or whatever, I am going to use this existing back panel and this cinch as patterns to make the replacements, because I've changed them over the years. So if I use the patterns that I have for the drop liner now, it would create problems. Another issue with this cinch is the grommet that used to be here totally blew out, so obviously it's good that we're replacing this entire thing to put back on the liner, because we'll make this brand new again. So here's the tubular handle. How I make it is just a piece of tubular webbing and a piece of foam that I cut out. I'm going to kind of like hot dog it a little bit and get it started in there. And then I have a screwdriver and I just shove it down. And to make sure it's halfway, I just fold it over like this. See, so I still have a way to come down this way, so then I can just and then once I do get it in the middle, I'll just put a bar tack on either side to keep it from shifting around. But that's how I make these little padded handles. Alright, so I've got all the pieces for the back panel assembly minus the batten sleeve panel here, so I can go ahead and put together this part of the back panel. Alright, I've got the old parts here that I've cut out of the bag, and then the new back panel with the batten sleeve pocket on it, because back in the day I was not using these fiberglass battens. So this pack did not originally include that, so I guess it's kind of an upgrade. But here it is inside out, and let's flip it right side out and see what it looks like. So here I've got the foam panels. This is for the bottom and this is for the back side. And now I just need to stuff them in there. So it's kind of a same where I do a little taco. I find the piece of fabric that holds the foam in place and just get it into the spot. And then for this hidden piece here, there's a little Velcro flap that opens up. And just, you know, if you're making stuff like this, it's a whole lot easier to make the item and then put the foam in afterwards, because trying to sew something like this, of this size, with foam in there that makes it more rigid as it's going through your machines, it just makes it a lot harder to go around curves and corners and all that kind of stuff. So anytime that you can insert the foam afterwards, you're going to save yourself a lot of headaches. So here we go. We got the old back panel with the blown out stretch webbing, blown out lumbar pad cover, and the new back panel here with new straps, new fabric on the back side of the straps, new lumbar pad fabric. I was able to reuse these same metal and plastic hardware, so no need to change that. This is still in great shape. And on the front, looking good. I mean, it kind of looks the same on the front because I didn't really change anything on the front, but new lid zipper over here too, and new cinch, which matches the rest of the bag better than this old one did for sure, but should last another 12-13 years or so. Alright, so this pack is all repaired and ready to ship out. I got the zipper pull on there, got the sternum strap on there, and I thought I would be able to reuse this piece of foam for the lumbar pad, but if you look at it sideways, it is thinner right here than it is down here, and this is no set foam, so it's not supposed to be compressible. So I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, maybe it's abraded away, but I think it's just been squished, and that's pretty surprising. So anyway, there is a pretty significant pack repair, putting this 12-something-year-old backpack back in full service, full operability. Got a new lid zipper, new back panel, and a new cinch. So yeah, time to send this one back. So anyway, that's how I do a repair like this. It does involve some careful surgery and taking things apart without ripping apart things you don't want to rip, and making new parts and putting it back together. So hopefully that was entertaining and a little bit useful to some of y'all, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.